Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? So, I figured it's about time to do another run of Star Control 2 to record for YouTube. So we're streaming it live on Twitch, twitch.tv/MechaGM. And I'll be doing this in chunks. I'll be basically stopping the recording every now and then. I'll be playing it sort of straight through, long play format. So before we get started, in case you haven't seen this before, this is a remake, of Star Control 2, the Ur-Quan Masters, a game by Toys for Bob that came out in 1992. Old game, came out for the PC and the 3DO. It is one of, if not my favorite video games of all time. I think there are probably games that are objectively probably better now, but this will always hold a special place in my heart, and it is a surprisingly influential game. The Mass Effect devs have cited it as one of their inspirations, for example. This was not built out of whole cloth. Like, it was inspired by games like Starflight and a bunch of other stuff. And the combat system in this is basically the very old Space Battles game from, like, the 1970s. So yeah, it's built on some classics. The music is great. I love it to death. Anyways, the version we're playing, in 2002, Toys for Bob ended up releasing the source code for the 3DO version to the SourceForge community, who took it, adapted it, made it playable in modern systems. Notably, there's a version of this for PC, for Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux, and I think there might be some mobile versions. I'm not positive on that. This is the HD remake, which gussies up the textures and adds in some redoes a little bit of the voice acting. Yes, this game has voice acting. The 3DO version was voice acted. So, yeah, we're going to be starting up a new run here. I love this game. I've played it to death. I've beaten it a bunch of times. It used to be a yearly game on stream. I've sort of fallen off of it a little bit. But here we go. That is partially a lie that it's a trademark of Stardock now. It's complicated. I'm not going to get into it. The Ur-Quan and its hierarchy of battle thralls. And the Ur-Quan were winning. Meanwhile, on the edge of known frontier, an amazing discovery was made. Far beneath the surface of an unexplored alien world, a huge underground city, filled with the ancient technological wonders of an advanced alien race, the Precursors, who vanished 1,000 centuries ago. But then, the main Ur-Quan fleet broke through the Alliance's defensive line, isolating the planet, stranding the scientists 100 light-years away from Earth. They waited hopefully for a rescue vessel, which never came. "20 years have passed. We, the survivors of the research mission, have colonized this world. We continued our investigation of the underground city, and we have discovered its purpose. It is a factory. A factory for building starships. But there aren't enough materials to make a complete vessel. We can finish only the skeleton of one starship. But that must be enough. Because you must captain the vessel. B? Oh, okay. And return to Earth. To travel the great distance, you must push through into hyperspace. Find out what has happened over these many years. Tell Earth of our plight. And if the war with the Ur-Quan still rages, fight for Earth and the Alliance as well as you can. All right, we are now into the game proper. All right, we got to name the captain. I'm going to go with what I usually go with in this game. And why am I not? There we go. I like Peterson. I don't know why. I'm going to name the ship the Enterprise for this run. I don't know why. I just feel like it. I would if I was going with Enterprise, normally I would go with like Kirk or Picard or Pike or something like that. But it kind of turns out that human starship captains have a list of names that they show up in if you get the Earth cruisers. And I know for a fact both Kirk and Pike are in the list. So, Darth Arquetta, the ship was not having structural integrity issues. That was the image of it being sort of pushing into hyperspace. So it was being distorted by visuals. That ship, if you noticed, was actually on the ground when it started. It launched into space. All right. So, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, you can see the ship. We have our precursor flagship and one Earth cruiser. We are in the Sol solar system. Now, I want everyone to look carefully at the map. And I want you to see if there's something a little bit odd about a planet here in the system. Just give it a quick look. You might notice it as I fly towards where Earth should be. Oop, I missed. Sorry, I was looking. I got an email from my mom and I need to check that. Oh, God damn it. So, yeah, when your ship starts out, it's not the most maneuverable. There we go. Oh, wait, what's that red thing? Why is Earth red and what's going on? What?
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of the Ur-Quan.
Okay.
You are trespassing within Ur-Quan space.
What?
This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason. Nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated.
What?
In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-Quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-Quan. Disobedience will be punished.
This does not seem good. All right, well, we'll avoid the platform for the moment. Why is Earth red? Last I checked, Earth was not bright red. Oh, that looks like a force field. Can we scan it, maybe? We've got a scan button. Scan for minerals. That doesn't sound good. Energy? Biologicals. Okay, maybe autoscan will work. No. Can we dispatch a lander down to investigate? The answer to all of that is no. Navigate. I guess we'll go check out the station. I mean, obeying the Ur-Quan never got us anywhere, so, not that we tried.
Attention unidentified space vessel.
Hi, human.
I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth.
The what now?
Our hyperwave broadcast extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat. Are you the resupply vessel?
Slave planet hierarchy. What's going on here?
Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but right now the only thing I'm worried about is saving the lives of 1,900 men and women aboard this starbase.
Okay,
and
fair.
Right now you're our only hope.
Fair.
I can't keep the transmitter on too much longer. We need the power for heat and air, so if you don't have any radioactives on board your vessel, please get some and bring them back here before it's too late.
I mean, sure. Where can we find radioactives? We're not from Sol.
The fastest way to get radioactives in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful. Mercury is a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas.
Okay.
Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
Probably not. They might, the reward might be they will choose not to kill us outright. That they might try, they might do that. If we were to just unconditionally surrender and say, yeah, okay, our bad, they might not kill us then. Maybe. Alright, well I guess we'll go to Mercury, which is the innermost planet. Alright, overshot. Nope. Got it. This thing is so unmaneuverable at this level, at this stage of the game. There we go. Alright, before we go there, I'm going to quickly... Because the planet is a very, 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 very... not wrong game, there we go. Let us save the game. Mercury's a little inhospitable. So, yeah. I'd rather not lose my lander. It could be a swift death. You're right, Stuart. That is actually another possible reward. You are correct. All right. Let's try scanning. Auto scan. See, now it actually works. All right. All right. Well. All right. Dodge, weave. I'm fair. I might as well grab the yellows, which are precious metals, while I'm here. All right. That's all we're gonna do. I just figured I may as well get a full lander load while I was down. All right. Rob Dog, yes, this Starflight was actually an inspiration for this game back in 1992. Starflight is another classic game. I had never finished Starflight 1. I believe I finished Starflight 2 back then. Though it's been a long time. There are some of the aliens in this game that have some similar attitudes to some of the races from Starflight. I will say I like...
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores?
I like the writing overall better in Star Control 2, personally. But I think the Starflight games are both fantastic, honestly. especially for the era. Yeah, sure. Here, have the radioactives, dude.
We're initiating transfer of radioactive, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores... There, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing. Life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel.
Yeah, about that.
What the hell kind of ship is that?
Yeah, about that.
Just who are you, Captain?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I'm Captain Peterson of the Starship Enterprise. We're the survivors of a Star Control science research team to the Vela star system.
Star Control science mission, huh?
Yes.
Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it.
Yeah, it was pretty secret.
You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? And why are you here? What do you want from us?
Well, the starship is... See, the planet we're on had a precursor factory. We had enough materials to build the skeleton of a precursor ship. And we got the technological secrets of precursors, and we're here to help you fight the hierarchy. Because, that went so well last time, apparently. Slave planet, huh?
Fight the Ur-Quan. Win back our freedom.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago.
Yeah.
That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-Quan Masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology, we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-Quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-Quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer.
Okay, any details on said base?
After the Ur-Quan erected the slave shield around the Earth and established this space station, they decided to leave a contingent of combat ships close to the Earth to keep watch on our planet and confirm that they were obeying the Ur-Quan slave laws.
All right.
I'm certain they're still out there on the surface of the moon because we can pick up a constant stream of alien broadcasts.
Okay, I guess we'll go take a look. Yeah.
Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathi eluders and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface.
A dozen?
I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
A dozen, you say? Well, here's hoping. Well, we haven't been attacked yet. All right, minerals. There's an energy source. And biologicals. Yeah, all right, here we go. All right. That appears to be a robotic bulldozer. Okay. Not so much biologicals as things that are moving. Got it. And again, might as well get a lander load of stuff before we do anything else. Well, there's the base. Nobody's tried shooting at us yet. So, report from the surface. We have discovered an alien base and have explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make it appear active. Life support systems are functioning, fusion generators are at full output, and robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave locked in transmit mode, endlessly playing the same alien recording. Although we cannot translate the message, our Xenotech, Ensign Rigby, believes that the message is some kind of alien alert or mayday message. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment. We will scavenge as much as we can and bring it aboard immediately. End of report. Yay, stuff. Well, Commander Hayes, nobody home. They abandoned it a long time ago. You guys might be on your own out here.
Have you dealt with the base yet?
Dealt with? Not so much. Found it was abandoned a long time ago.
I'll be darned. All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast.
Okay.
Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
Hey, LMG, thanks for joining. Hope you're having a good day.
By the fetid breath of the Dark Twin Kazan, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-Quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human.
You'll find it's full of surprises.
Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armored starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty.
Well, that's true.
I am sure our masters, the Ur-Quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
Where the hell did you come from?
Since you will soon be dead, I will gladly explain. We have spent many years gleefully preying on the Pakunk.
Who?
They are a pitiful, easily killed species. And we would have
sound like possible
continued
friends.
in this divine worship of Dogar and Kazan, but we required additional crew members and repairs to our cloaking device. So we
Wait, did you say
the Jiglass
cloaking device is out?
And set course
G-Class,
for
good to know.
home. But before
And
we had
you're down on
reached
crew?
our region of space, we detected the passage of a nearby vessel, the Ur-Quan drone. It informed us about you, so here we are. And now you die.
Cloaking device is down, you say? Well, Captain Decker, hopefully I can remember what button is what. Alright, well, you can't cloak, so my tracking missiles are much more effective. Damn it! I got screwed by the gravity whip. That sucked. I screwed up. That was a screw up on my part. This is gonna hurt. Ow, I took way more damage than I wanted to.
What a beautiful sight, Captain. I haven't seen an
that was
Avenger
bad.
blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-Quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain?
We'll slowly build our strength, unify an alien allied starfleet, and bring the Ur-Quan to their equivalents.
A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work. Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
The United Federation of Worlds.
That has a familiar ring to it.
Yeah, it does.
Nonetheless, we'll make it so. The United Federation of Worlds. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the Starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work. I have good news to report, Captain.
Oh, yeah?
We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes.
That's good.
We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
All right. First off, let's offload the minerals we picked up on Mercury and the Moon.
The more minerals you bring us, Captain, the faster we'll be able to tackle the Ur-Quan.
Yeah. All right. Additional backer info.
Certainly, Captain.
We're not going to go through
What do
the
you need to know?
entirety of the info menu because there's a lot of info here. Laboratory facilities at Starbase. This is useful stuff right now.
We can modify your precursor ship, build additional combat vessels, and supply you with fuel and crew.
What can you do to enhance and modify the Enterprise?
Our engineers and precursor specialists agree with the scientists from your world that your starship was designed to be a workhorse vehicle, which can be easily reconfigured for different missions by adding or swapping self-contained equipment packs, which we call modules. The modules we can build right now are thruster units, which make your ship move faster, attitude jets, which allow you to rotate the ship more quickly, crew pods, which provide life support facilities for up to 50 additional crew members, storage bays, which increase your ship's cargo capacity for mineral resources, fuel tanks, which hold an additional 50 units of fuel, dynamos, which feed energy into your combat energy batteries, improving your weapon's rate of fire. And last but not least, ion bolt guns, combat weaponry, the exact function of which depends on its location aboard the ship. When put in the first or front module slot, it fires a single shot forward.
Right.
When put in the second slot, it fires 2 shots, spread to the left and right of center.
Okay.
When put in the third slot, it fires 2 shots directly, left and right. And when put in the last or rear slot, it fires a single shot straight backwards.
Okay, how will I get fuel for the ship? Because that seems important.
This base is designed to service hierarchy ships. Fortunately, your flagship uses the same stabilized antimatter technology as hierarchy vessels and will be able to synthesize what you need. However, due to the size of your ship, we'll have to produce vast quantities of fuel, which will be a substantial drain on our resources.
So yeah, buying fuel here is very expensive. There's a much cheaper and easier way to get fuel later in the game. All right, how can I assemble a fleet of fighting ships?
Our shipyard facilities are sophisticated and fully automated, permitting a handful of Starbase personnel to do the same job as 500 vac-suited construction workers. However, the only designs that we had in our computers were incomplete hierarchy ship designs. Things looked grim until one of the officers came forward with an amazing story. Even though the Ur-Quan destroyed every Earthling cruiser in the fleet nearly 20 years ago, one of my maintenance engineers was a Starship production assistant at the Detroit shipyard. When Earth was conquered, she was ordered to destroy all ship construction databases. But she secretly made copies of the blueprint discs and then kept them with her ever since.
Well,
These discs contain all the data we need to build as many Earthling cruisers as you want, provided you, Captain, can supply the large amounts of mineral resources required to build those vessels. In theory, Captain, we could build alien starships here if we had designs for them. However, it's a well-known fact that alien vessels just can't be flown in combat without native starship captains at the helm.
okay, so Island Snake. Yeah, the voice lines. So there, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, which you may have missed, which is cool. I don't remember. I wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, either way, at the start, I mentioned at the beginning that the game was originally released for PC and the 3DO in 1992. The version of the game, though, the source code that was turned over to SourceForge by the devs was the 3DO version, which included the original voice lines that were recorded for the 3DO version. So, yeah, they didn't want to pack that many voice lines onto floppy disks for the PC, shall we say. So yeah, I was surprised when I played this first time, and it was voiced. I was very, very surprised by that. How will we require additional personnel for my ship?
We have almost 2,000 highly motivated, skilled professionals aboard this starbase, and every single one of them wants a berth aboard your starship.
Fair.
However, each
Yes.
hand we lose to your ship means less manpower here at the starbase, and this is reflected in the crew RU cost.
That is reasonable.
As long as you don't lose too many crew members to combat or planet exploration, the RU cost will remain static. But we have only so many warm bodies on this starbase, and if your needs for crew grow beyond a certain point, the cost could increase dramatically.
I don't think I've ever, in any of my runs, gotten the crew cost to go up. I'm aware it goes up, though. And there are a couple of ways that it can go up, from what I've heard. Could you explain the resource allocation system, please?
As you know, Captain, we've committed the entire output of this station to building your flagship and your battle fleet into the strongest force possible. However, our resources are very limited, and we feel you must decide how we are to spend our effort and materials. To aid you in making these decisions, we have implemented a resource allocation scheme. We provide you with a numerical assessment of the station's resources and ascribe a cost to each task we can perform and each device we can build. It's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your resource units, or RU as we call them. To acquire more RU, you must bring resources back to the starbase. These resources can be either in the form of mineral ores gathered from planet surfaces or already refined metals and other valuable materials from the wreckage of enemy starships.
What kind of resource is the most useful?
The most straightforward way you can accumulate resource units is to bring mineral ores back to this starbase. There are probably enough resources in just the nearby dozen stars to build your ship into a powerful battleship or to create a strong task force of combat vessels. I would also recommend that you build several additional storage bays. When gathering minerals, focus on cleaning out one star system at a time. This way you minimize the cost of travel through hyperspace.
Yeah, by the way, traveling through hyperspace is where most of your fuel goes. Most of it, not all of it. You spend a little bit of fuel for dropping landers on planets. What use does the Planet Lander's sophisticated lifeform analysis features?
While I respect your search for abstract knowledge, frankly, Captain, in our present circumstances, I see little use for such data here. Perhaps you could make use of biological information elsewhere.
As a matter of fact, that turns out to be the case.
What else can I tell you?
All right, that's all the tech stuff we need right now. I would love to do the historical data, but we'll save that for later on.
Fine. Is there anything else you need?
Not at the moment.
Try to avoid getting gruesomely killed, Captain.
Will do. All right, so step one, we're going to go to Outfit Starship, and we're going to... Nope, not Outfit Starship. We're going to go to the shipyard. I want to retank on crew. And the Outfit Starship. All right. Modules. I'm going to add another storage bay. Let's add another... Nope. Okay, let me... Nope, hang on. Let me retank on fuel. It's 20 RU per point of fuel, which is a lot. grab 20 just to be safe here for the moment. No, actually, we'll crank that back to... There we go. All right, while we're here in system, I think we can... I want to be sure I've got enough ability to turn. All right, that's gonna have to do us for now. We are going to mine out the system, this system, and then we'll look around. Well, then we'll leave, but we're gonna get stuff from the system here. All right. Let's take a look at Venus, but I think we're probably unlikely to mine it, and you will see why. All right, so it has not very interesting minerals on the surface to mine. And then if you look over here, orbits, whatever, atmospheric pressure is okay. Not much in the way of tectonics, class 2 tectonics, not very earthquakey. Yeah, the surface temperature is 57 degrees centigrade, which means there are going to be a lot of hot spots. And the weather is class 8, which means it is deadly. Yeah, we're not landing there at the moment. And it's just not worth the opportunity cost. Odds are we'll lose our lander, and that would suck. Greetings, Fiki. Welcome. Good to see you. Alright, we're going to zip on over to Mars. Yeah, the Class 8 weather means it's basically will be near constant lightning strikes. It's awful. Mars! What does Mars have? Well, Mars is safe to land on. It is not very interesting minerals. Is it worth the fuel to go down? I guess it might be worth doing one. Yeah, it might be worth sending one lander trip down to grab whatever's down here, but it's not worth actually, you know. Aluminium. And we'll get most of what's mineable there, and we'll, okay, we're done. Alright. We're done with Mars. Now, to basically nobody's surprise, we cannot land on Jupiter. I'll show you what you. Well, I'll show you what you. Yeah. In general, gas giants are pointless. There are some notable exceptions to that, but we will discover those later. All right, Io. Io has class 4 tectonics. But look at all those lovely radioactives. Radioactives. So we're going to be careful here, but... Class 4 radioactives tectonics is not too bad. Ow. Then we're heading up from here. I would say so, yes. And we have mined out Io. All right, let's check the other planets in Jupiter's orbit. Not star map. That's useful, but not right now. Auto scan. Oh, there's some radioactives here on Europa. Let's grab those. Never played this game. You think you've seen someone play it? That's quite possible. Other people other than me have played it streamed it. I've streamed this game a whole bunch over the years. Alright, Ganymede. No. Those minerals are not really worth spending the fuel to go down for, really. Not when there are better options available. Callisto has literally nothing, so we're done. And we shall move along. Titan. Well, surface temp is low, tectonics are low, weather's a little high. Base metals are okay, not great. We need whatever we can get right now, so let's just grab these base metals and we'll get one lander load and then we'll take off. That's all we'll do. I'm not going to go back down for the rest of it. It's not worth the fuel for the landing, in my personal opinion. But you'll notice we've actually spent 4 fuel so far just on landing and going for mining stuff. Triton... meh? Yeah, I guess. This should be worth more than what we're going down for. So each point of the white blips are worth 3 resource units each. And I think we've already paid for the fuel coming down. I mean, that 9 was worth, what, 18? Yeah, we're good. And as crap as the light blues are, it's worth picking. We might as well pick it up since we're down here. I can't budget to save your life. Fair. It helps knowing what's worth what. Okay, there's no moons worth investigating around Uranus. So last thing we've got here is to go to Pluto. Is it a dwarf planet? I think is the official classification now? I forget. It is not a full-fledged planet anymore. I believe it was at the time this game came out, though. What's the objective of this game? This game is you are to go around the galaxy, go around, meet various aliens, try to form alliances, build a group together to free Earth and the rest of the former members of the Alliance of Free Stars from the oppressive yoke of the Ur-Quan hierarchy, and to save the galaxy. Long story short, yeah, it's save the galaxy. Save this part of the galaxy. And it turns out there might be a bigger threat than the Ur-Quan. Ooh, there's a purple dot. And an energy signature. I wonder what that energy signature could be. This game has often been cited by some... Okay. As an aside, as I mentioned early on, this game has been cited as by the devs of the original Mass Effect as one of their inspirations. You can definitely see sort of elements of this that show up in Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series. Mayday from the surface! We have come under fire from an alien vessel we found hiding on the surface of Pluto. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all 3 of the Lieberman triplets. We've returned fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. We're initiating emergency launch procedures. End of transmission.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spathi, Captain Whistle. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spathiwa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spathi cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Spathi, is Huffy, Muffy, Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
And now we get to meet probably my favorite alien species in a lot of science fiction. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's definitely my favorite in this game. The Spathi. They are abject cowards. They're also terrifying. Hi there, friend. We come in peace and mean you no harm.
Are you sure? Because your statement is often just a more polite way of saying, attention alien vessel, identify yourself or be destroyed. In any event, I am Spathi Captain Rico of the void ship Star Runner, placed here in this planetary system as part of the powerful Earth-powered Star Force, which our masters, the Ur-Quan, established here to make sure the Earthlings don't do anything tricky.
What are you doing here on Pluto?
About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-Quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them.
Where are the Ur-Quan now?
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Hut, I think, the Ur-Quan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed toward the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned.
Oh, as an aside, I didn't mention it at the start of the stream, but I'm going to bring it up now. The original Star Control, the original one, is a very different game from this. Same setting. It's basically a strategy game, tactical/strategy game, of the war between the Alliance of Free Stars and the Ur-Quan hierarchy. And then between the end of Star Control and the start of this game is when the Ur-Quan basically just win. That's not part of Star Control 1. And part of this game is finding out how the fuck did the Ur-Quan just win? Do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat thralls, while the Siren chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug-Squirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Shofixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
What do you mean, blaze? What happened to the Shofixti?
The Shofixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Shofixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Ur-Quan dreadnoughts.
So what are you doing here in Pluto?
When the Ur-Quan Armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat thralls and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to free atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Ur-Wraith and Spathi fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon.
Tell me what you're doing on Pluto now?
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spathi a bit uneasy because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. So the Ur-Wraith kept telling us that it was impossible since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons
That would make it difficult.
That made us feel a bit better, but when the Ur-Wraith left, again we grew fearful and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
What happened to the Ur-Wraith station system?
The Ur-Wraith contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Ur-Wraith's passivity and wanted them to kill or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went off to have some fun.
When do you expect the Ur-Wraith to return?
Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of, "Real soon."
You know, you're actually pretty good at mimicry, Wiffo. But anyways, what happened to the base of Luna?
We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there.
What happened to the other Spathi ships?
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-Guard forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spathi call the Ultimate Evil!
Who or what is this ultimate evil?
As yet, the Ultimate Evil remains largely unmanifest,
Ultimate Evil?
and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we fear gives conclusive evidence as to the Ultimate Evil's nefarious intent.
You know, fair. Oh, how many crew do you have aboard out of curiosity?
Dozens, that is to say scores, and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today.
Hundreds? Come on.
I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Spathi like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' Eluder-class void ships typically holds 30 Spathi crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the ultimate evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only Spathi on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand.
The Galaxy teams with threatening monsters. Are you happy here, alone and vulnerable? Actually, we'll do that in a minute. Why are you still here, Fwiffo?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Barrisso, was left here alone. For, as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one Spathi who puts the short top first.
What about yourself, Fwiffo?
Me? You mean me, personally? Nice of you to ask. I was born a poor green incrusting, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parents had to work hard to support us, very hard, but each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name. She said, "Fwiffo, Fwiffo, would you please answer the door? I'll put someone's there." What a treat, a golden memory. I swiftly matured into a fine example of my species with my parents' assistance, achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jam and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land, through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush, so I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a Spathi of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well, so I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of perfect stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted, aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
The Galaxy teams with threatening monsters. Are you happy here, alone and vulnerable?
How true, Captain, how true! In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. this witty dialogue and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
I'm sure you'd feel a lot safer if you were with us. Come on, Fofo, join our fleet.
Happy days and jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitation and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being.
Yeah.
I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though, and make sure you understand that any other Spathi ships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of allying with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
And we now have a Spathi ship. So, the Spathi. Spathi ships are actually quite good. They're fast, they're nimble, they're surprisingly durable. Their forward gun sucks, but they're a gun that shoots backwards. It's a tracking torpedo that does respectable damage. They fight very well by running away from the enemy. They're brilliant. I love their ships. They're great. Anyways, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. This is the end of the first episode. If you're on Twitch, hang on. We'll be back with another episode in just a bit. I'm going to need to take a short break. But if you're watching YouTube, thank you for watching. We'll be back with another episode soon. And if you're enjoying it, like, share, subscribe, etc. You know the deal. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.